one. Oh.
All right.
Okay. Awesome. So I think we are live and everyone can hopefully hear us now. Welcome back, everybody. If you were here with us yesterday and if this is your first time joining us, welcome to day 2 of Ascension 2021, hosted by SEDS-Canada. So my name is Twinkle. This is Ishan. We're both on the SEDS team, and we'll get into a little bit about the conference team a little later on, but we are super excited to be kicking off our second day. To get us started today, we will do a land acknowledgement. So I'm just going to go to the next slide. So we wish to acknowledge this land on which SEDS-Canada's headquarters operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and most recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit River. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work and be based on this land. So for those of you who weren't here yesterday, this is a quick overview of who SEDS-Canada really is. In general, we are a team that's looking to support students across the country to learn more about the Canadian space industry and do so by providing different types of opportunities, whether that's events or conferences like this one, or awesome projects that we host. So if you're interested in learning more, you can go to seds.ca. But yeah, these are some of the some information about our team. We have currently 31 staff, 9 directors, 17 advisors, and yeah, we are students helping students. Like I said before, just wanted to quickly introduce you to the conference team. So my name is Twinkle Mehta, I'm the events chair, and Ishan Acharya is our speakers coordinator. And we have all of our other wonderful members on the team who have been working really hard to put this event together. So yeah, we are super excited to be here. Cool. And so this is Ascension 2021 so far. If you weren't here yesterday, you did miss, one of our awesome keynote speakers, Vinita, who shared her experiences and is a co-founder of Rocket Women, and had some awesome, really awesome stuff to say. But not to fret, we do have more coming up for you today and tomorrow. So for today, we do have a lot of speakers planned. So we have, I think it's around 7 exciting talks planned, ranging from some really cool topics I mentioned yesterday as well, but ranging from astrostatistics to self-replicating robots and quantum computing and so much more. So it's definitely really exciting. We also have our 3-minute thesis student competition, and you can learn about some of the cool research topics that graduate students have been working on. And we also have our Expo booth showcase. So that is a chance to network with industry partners and student teams from across Canada, and you can learn about the different types of projects that they've been working on. And yeah, I think it's a jam-packed day. So yeah, it's super exciting, and I will hand it off to Ishan now to take over.
Sure, perfect. So this slide just goes over for anyone who is joining us today for the first time on Hopin, the general layout of the software. So right now we're on the main stage where all the keynotes and the 3-minute thesis will take place. The sessions tab is where the speakers and panelists will happen, or speakers and panels, and also Y-Space. And lastly, we have that expo box at the bottom, which is where you can find all the booths, including design teams, our partners, sponsors, student groups, all kinds of stuff there for you to network and talk to people. So definitely check that out. It's a bit of exploring, bit of figuring it out as you go, but I'm sure it'll lead to a lot of fantastic discussion and meeting people today. So yeah, next slide. So yeah, just quickly wanted to also acknowledge the sponsors that make this event possible. So our gold sponsor is the University of Toronto Institute for Aerospace Studies, actually the place where I'm doing my master's degree right now. So I'm glad they're supporting us put this event on. Next slide. And also we have our silver sponsors, which are GHG SAT and Supercluster. Huge thank you to everyone involved for actually helping us put this on. And then getting to all the students across the country. So yes, moving on to the next slide. We have a Memoranda of Understanding, or an MOU announcement to announce our partnership, SEDS-Canada with ZENITH Canada. So this partnership, or yes, I should say, ZENITH was founded with the intention of better preparing young talent to join the aerospace industry by providing mentorship and making the path more clear from school and into the industry. So ZENITH and SEDS obviously share many core values, and we're super excited to collaborate together. And if we go to the next slide, to talk a little bit more about this partnership, I'd like to introduce Mr. Tahir Merali to speak as today's opening keynote. So Tahir is the Chief Operating Officer of 4Pi Lab, a Calgary-based startup providing early wildlife detection and alert Earth services via satellites for smart, real-time global coverage. A social entrepreneur, he is also founder and director of ZENITH Canada, a not-for-profit delivering bespoke aerospace mentorship for Canadian post-secondary and early career professionals. He also runs Escape Velocity Services, Inc., offering project management and technical consulting to small and medium enterprises. Mr. Merali has also worked across Canada and the world at space agencies and commercial companies in human spaceflight, space exploration, and Earth observation, including major programs such as the International Space Station, Lunar Gateway, and Canadarm3. He is an International Astronautical Federation Workforce Development Young Professionals Program Committee member, and in 2018 was globally recognized as a top 35 under 35 of the space industry. So with that, please join me in welcoming Tahir to the stage.
All right, good morning, everyone, and thank you for that wonderful introduction and fascinating conference. You guys have put on an incredible opportunity for folks to come and learn so much. So before I go any further, I wanted to thank Shimera, Ishan, Twinkle, Danielle, the whole SEDS-Canada Ascension team for putting on such a wonderful event. It is something that really supports the sector as a whole to help young people and folks around the world, not just here in Canada, really learn more and expand their horizons and perhaps learn something new along the way, especially on a 3-day conference like this. So thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity here to speak to you today and the wonderful introduction. Indeed, today I'm here to talk about the ZENITH Canada Pathways Foundation and the opportunity that brings to young professionals and students here in Canada. So what I'll do right now is I'll pop on a brief presentation, and we'll pop on screen share. Wonderful. Again, just to recap, I'm Tahir Merali, the co-founder and director of the ZENITH Canada Pathways Foundation. And one of the most critical things here in Canada is that we have such great talent across our great nation, from Victoria to St. John's, Newfoundland. And that talent can be put to use so many different ways. And we are leaders, as you've seen, as you've heard yesterday, as you'll hear today, and you'll hear over the course of the conference and many to come. Canada leads in so many different areas, especially in the aerospace sector. And ZENITH is actually has been started to support that leadership going forward. And that is focused on talent development of early career professionals right here in Canada to help support a sustainable and diverse aerospace sector for the future. And we seek to support filling a large void in Canada's aerospace workforce pipeline. So how are we looking to do that? Well, the foundation is a nonprofit organization here in Canada that is seeking to develop a national merit-based professional training and career development program. And that allows us then to be able to bridge a knowledge gap between those in post-secondary opportunities right now and wanting to get that first entry role in terms of early career professional work experience. And we're of course there to support and sustain a highly qualified, diverse Canadian aerospace industry workforce. There are so many ways to get engaged in terms of awareness and advocacy opportunities in our country. We've got great knowledge and industry. We've got the support of incredible government and of course where most of you are located today, the academia and the research that is taking us to new heights is bar none and world class. So let's bring that together and continue to support the development of a great sector here in Canada. So what does the sector look like today? Brief couple statistics. The status quo is actually quite concerning. And so from the State of the Canadian Space Sector published by the Canadian Space Agency in 2018, 49% of Canadian companies actually faced challenges hiring the right people for the job. And a lot of jobs, almost half of them, went unfilled, if you could imagine that. They've expressed challenges in terms of finding engineers, scientists, technicians, folks in the STEM sector, but also on marketing and sales personnel, business development, procurement. This is the government's perspective, of course, but this has also been supported by calls and cries from industry and academia as well. And some of the couple of the reasons that were highlighted in this report was that there are other sectors, more mature sectors in Canada, that are competing for the same talent, as well as the need for enhancement of skills. So if there was a company going out to find people with certain skill sets, they couldn't find them. And so, joining up with my leadership team, who I'll introduce in a moment, we realized that something like this in Canada needs to exist in order to provide a stopgap and essentially continue to build a supportive base for talent. Now, where is that talent coming from? Well, many of you here today might be participating in the Canadian CubeSat project or Launch Canada teams. The tidal wave of Canadian talent is on the way, and we need to ensure that there's places in our great country for you to be able to thrive and to apply that knowledge and talent and to grow your careers right here in Canada. And so there's more than 500 students involved in the Canadian CubeSat project, over almost 1,100 in Launch Canada. These are fantastic opportunities for you to take those skills. And while this may highlight engineering and STEM related fields, there are many other skills that are being built within those projects: fundraising, project management, going out there and doing business development to build relationships with industry and academia and government. There are more skills that you can extract in addition to honing your engineering skill through these types of experiences. And we want to be able to ensure that you can take those talents and apply them here in Canada in the future. So how are we going to do that? Well, we have created the first of its kind space fellowship here in Canada called the ZENITH Fellowship. And this will allow an appropriate balance between meaningful work experience, senior level mentorship, and passionate leadership. These are fundamental principles that will allow a true and successful talent development here in Canada for the aerospace sector, and a sustainable one at that. And so this will be transformative. It will allow us to be able to implement a national bespoke mentoring program that is both challenging for the fellows that are accepted, but also providing tangible results for engaged partners in academia, industry, and government. It's also creating a reservoir of highly qualified personnel for our aerospace industry. We want that pool here in Canada to stay in Canada and to thrive in Canada. And of course, at the end of the day, promoting critical career development of professional skills and leadership development that is absolutely critical, not only for the aerospace sector, but for successful talent here in Canada alone. So the fellowship has just been launched. We had a launch event last couple weeks ago, and we've launched the organization and the fellowship. Now, we're currently in the process of developing various key components of the fellowship, including negotiating with host organizations and determining the key eligibility criteria, selection criteria, and the process therein. But we do have a target timeline. So for those of you that are currently in your studies or have recently graduated, keep this date in mind. We're seeking to issue our application, our call for applications for our first cohort in September of 2021. which will hopefully allow us to then announce the first cohort of fellows in January of 2022. And we're timing it such that the program will be synchronous with current and existing co-op or internship programs that currently exist. So we're not trying to do something different. We're trying to complement what already exists and facilitate work integrated learning experiences with the traditional method that is already existing between academia and industry. So that means the workplace period would be a minimum of 4-month term starting in May, and include during that period of time a key professional development summit to allow those fellows to connect, to bond, to build external relationships and really solidify a key base of talent here in Canada. And so that summit we talk about is based on some very successful models. And the summit is actually really interesting because it allows you to kind of step out of your day-to-day work with your host organization and meet those that are working across the country in different realms and have different perspectives, and come together and work on challenges, meet and bond through working on those challenges. Understand that there is other people in your exact situation that are doing some great things, and build relationships that will help you as you grow in your career here in Canada to make a more overall successful aerospace sector. You have also the opportunity to connect with external mentors, not only within your home host organization, but also those that will support you during your fellowship, as well as meeting external mentors that are supporting other fellows along the way. And that'll include workshops and professional development activities and things that will really help develop you as a person and set you on a successful trajectory for your career. And this program is not new. It's something that has been very, very successful in the United States, modeled on the Brooke Owens Fellowship, which has been now running for 4 years, the Matthew Isaacswitz Fellowship, the Z Factor Fellowship, which just got announced this year, as well as the Patty Grace Smith Fellowship, which just launched its inaugural class last week. We're following the footsteps of proven programs, and we all came together and said, why do we not have something like this here in Canada? Well, we decided to do something about it. And our leadership team has been really fundamental in helping define the strategy and vision for what we want to execute and deliver here in Canada. So along myself, I have here Nadeem, who's also a co-founder and director and a former Brooke Owens Fellow, as well as Zed Rana, who's our Director of External Relations and is quite active here in Canada. And we have the passion, drive, and experience to deliver this program. But like any organization, just like SEDS-Canada and Ascension Conference, just like a number of awareness and advocacy organizations across our great nation, the lifeblood is volunteers. Without that, there's no way we could be where we are today or be able to do what we plan to do in the future. So I just want to take a moment to recognize some of our volunteers, Brian, Kelsey, MG, as well as those that are behind the scenes that have really helped to shape our organization and get us on the right track. So thank you for that. So the ZENITH family. So we're here to complement and to support and build on what already exists here in Canada. And in that includes building relationships with government, industry, academia, and nonprofit awareness and advocacy organizations across our great nation. And we're proud, of course, here to announce our first MOU with SEDS-Canada, which you heard at the top of the talk, which is fantastic in terms of the alignment and synergies that type of relationship would bring in order to support a true talent pipeline from academia into industry and government and into the successful future here in Canada. We're also working with the Space Generation Advisory Council as a collaborator, and we're currently, as I mentioned earlier, discussing with some host organizations, which we'll look forward to announcing with you in the coming weeks. So if you'd like some more information about ZENITH itself, please hop over to our booth today. Hira and Zed will be staffing the booth and there to answer your questions. We'll have some materials. Check out our website. And I appreciate, again, the time to be able to announce this wonderful program and really take a synergistic and collaborative step forward here with SEDS-Canada. Thank you very much for your time. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and help join the ZENITH family. So thank you very much for your time and enjoy a rest of a wonderful, exciting conference. I can't wait to patch into some of the great talks later on this day. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much to hear. I hope you're able to see me now. I see you're ending your screen share. Thank you so much. I think listening to that, and as a student myself, I can definitely, I'm encouraged by your words, and especially the fact that there, is an opportunity for mentorship and for guidance and support that's often so needed for students who are looking to break into this like seemingly intimidating, industry. So that's awesome. Shamira is also here. So Shamira is SEDS-Canada's president, and I think she wanted to share a few words on behalf of SEDS-Canada as well.
Yes, okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right. Oh, I just wanted to say thank you very much to hear for that very informative presentation. I think we did kickstart day 2 off with a bang with such a big announcement. And we look forward to this collaboration, and SEDS-Canada really is looking forward to support this initiative as a partner and both as collaborator as well. So I think now, because we can't be in person and do a virtual a signing or a handshake, we can just do a virtual high five, virtual handshake. So this has been really great, and I think I'm going to pass it on to Twinkle. The whole team is really excited for this initiative, and we look forward to as it comes to full fruition.
Absolutely. And on behalf of the entire Zenith family, thank you very much for the opportunity to work together, and we look forward to some great things in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shamira. I'm just looking at the time, so it looks like we have about 8 minutes buffer time before now and our big first panel. So there have been some questions in the chat to hear if you're good to, maybe I can read some out. So I see one from Mandy, and I think this is when you were talking about the placements, and they're asking, so will this add extra work placements within the sector, or will these fellowships be competing with current placements, which are extremely hard to secure already?
Fantastic question, and I'm glad you asked it. It's actually going to be both. And so the beauty of the multidisciplinary space sector is that there are so many skills that can be applied to, let's say, traditional space companies, but also non-traditional space companies, or those companies that perhaps don't yet realize or understand the value of what space could bring to their company. And so we plan to work with both across Canada, and it would be supporting existing and new offerings. So through the fellowship, it's not just, hey, here's an internship. We'll grab someone that's really skilled in a particular area, have them do something for us, and say thank you very much. We want to really truly develop a relationship not only between the fellow and the host organization, but the fellows themselves as well as the external mentors that are involved. So we're offering, in terms of our value add, we're offering kind of a unique experience for fellows, and through working with host organizations, that'll be a key part of their recognition of what makes the application to be a Zenith Fellow slightly different than just your typical internship placement.
Great, thank you. Another question was, is the fellowship open to recent grads too?
Absolutely. So when we talk about early career professionals, that are those that are just currently in completing their studies, are in academia, but also those that have recently graduated. And so we're working right now to develop exactly what that specific criteria will be, X amount of years after you've graduated from an X degree, for example. So yes, absolutely. There's certainly, from an industry perspective, there are lots of supports for students to get them into the door of an organization, but there is very little for young professionals. And that's one of our key target areas as well, as young professionals, and to be able to get them that key first or second work experience that they need, so you can get that, you can then gain those skills and then jump to your next opportunity, or stay within a company and be successful there. So absolutely, young professionals are included in that mix.
Great, that's awesome. Maybe one more question. Maybe just in general, I guess, have you thought about number of fellows in a cohort, and would there be a cap on how many fellows from one field?
These are absolutely great questions. So our volunteer team on the applications, on the fellows side, that's developing out the selection criteria, as well as the mentors that we're bringing in, the external mentors. There won't necessarily be a cap, but we do want to encourage diversity across not only all fields, in terms of multidisciplinary nature, but also across geography, across backgrounds, And so that is part of the fabric of what makes Canada so great. And we want to represent that through our programming. In terms of the number of fellows, we're currently working with our host organizations to determine what that number would be, especially for our first class. So stay tuned for more when it comes to the call for applications in September, and we'll have a more defined goal of how many fellows we will be seeking at that time.
Perfect. That's great. Thank you so much to hear. You're getting a lot of thank yous and amazing. So really, really appreciate it. At this time, I will say that we can take a 3-minute break wherever you are, but please come back at 12 o'clock or whatever that local time is for you in 4 minutes and tune in to our Entrepreneurship in Space panel, which is super exciting. Just a quick note, this will be happening in the sessions. So this is the stage, you'll have to navigate to the sessions on the left side of your screen. But yeah, we'll wrap up our opening here, and thank you so much to hear again.
Thank you very much for having us. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. See you soon.